where dreams come alive. BWatts on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. Through it all he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in the sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep.
Hello friends, I'm Bernard Watts of Sports Talk with BWatts. I paused for a few minutes just to come and talk to you about the quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, getting ready to enter the NFL draft. If your franchise need a franchise quarterback, I'm telling you, Shedeur is the guy. Great feet work, great pocket presence, strong arm, quick release, toughness. He led Colorado into a winning program before he left. And also, if you go back and look at the videos, do your homework, look at him at Jackson State. The escapability, the running ability. I'm telling you right now, Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback. All you got to do is just look at the tapes and you'll see that Shedeur Sanders is him. You heard it right here on Sports Talk with BWatts by the digital airways of YouTube. Scope up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight? You're watching Sports Talk with BWatts. I'm your host tonight, Bernard Watts. Got my boys back in town. That's JR Box and Greg Said It. Greg Said It has made it back to the land, safe and sound, and we glad that he have made it back. Well, tonight is the night that JR Boxing will be doing the hosting. He's the executive producer for tonight. So I'm going to just sit back and see what he got to talk about. Me and Greg said it. But you do know, y'all did watch Reach the People today, right? Oh, yeah. He told you about it. Yeah, KSALTER dominated practice day. I just want to throw that in. And we're going to talk about it starting off. And then we're going to turn it over to JR Box. All right? First of all, I want to say hello to Miss Sabrina Walters. How you doing? Patricia McGee, how you doing? My girl, what's going on, Miss Phyllis Smith? How you doing today? My girl, Miss V, how you doing? Glad you made it. Glad you tuned in. Tim, what's going on? Appreciate you for rocking with it. Miss Selma Johnson, the birthday girl. Appreciate you. Reverend Nelson, how you doing, sir? Thank you for stopping by. Leslie Budget, what's going on? Doing okay? Miss Crystal Wisewood, my girl. Appreciate you for rocking with us. All right, let's bring up the guys and we're going to get into the show and see what JR got on his list. 13, what's going on? Let's go 13. You all right? Appreciate you tonight. There he is, the one and only. The one.
What's happening, BWatts?
What's going on, man? I'm trying to find Greg. I can't find him.
Oh, nothing much, man. That's all right, man. Greg just running away from the fact he got to say you right, like I had to admit yesterday.
Oh, that's what it was.
Trust me, it's a little segment in there for Greg to get his too.
No, Linda. It's an asterisk on that. It's an asterisk on that thing.
Hey, you don't make it back. He talking all that noise.
Y'all ain't listening. No. I was loud and clear. You was right, but I was right too. I gave you an asterisk the only way that was possible.
We don't care about you being right. No, sir.
You gonna get half
a point for 2 years.
No. I said. Do I need to say it?
All right, hold on.
I'll wait.
Y'all, hold on. Tonight, I got Miss Salter, the mother of Kaidon and Kaylin Salters. Appreciate you for joining my broadcast tonight. Appreciate you for down there being in the chat. And appreciate you for subscribing to Sports Talk with BWatts. To everybody in the chat, say hello to Miss Salter. She is the mother of Kaidon Salter and Caleb Salter. She said, hello. Thank you all for all your kind words about my boys. That's Kaidon Salter and Caitlin Salter. Yeah, them salt shakers. Salt shaker. Yeah, sprinkle a little bit on it. Sprinkle. Yeah.
You heard it earlier today, BWatts. He said a little salt good for everybody. Little salt good for everybody.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Make everything
right.
Make everything
he sure is, man. So let's start off with that tonight, man. I was looking at people and a little bit of the little practice they had today. KSALTER looking good. The quarterback, like I always said, he always have looked good. He looked good in high school. He looked good at Liberty. And today, since he's been at Colorado, he's been looking good. He only can get better with the teaching and the helping Pat Sherman, the offensive coordinator. And I think I'm gonna stand on my word. I think he'll Heisman Trophy candidate out the gate. I ain't saying it. I've been saying it all along, and I ain't changed my mind yet. And for what I saw today, they put a game plan together behind him. Go ahead, JR. And after we get through with this topic, we'll turn it over to JR. See what he got to talk about tonight.
Absolutely. Look, I'm gonna timestamp this right now. 7:30 in the show. I just want to ask you, BWatts and Greg, where the Salter boys from? What state they from? Don't worry about it. We already know where they from. We already know where they from. I'll say it for y'all. They from that great state of Texas. That's where they from. But absolutely, look, there is a reason why Coach Prime and that staff went after Kaidon Salter that heavily in the transfer portal. Accomplished player in the collegiate sport of football. Like I said, BWatts. Those are the type of players that we should look for. People that already have produced in the college game, whether it's time on task with snaps or productive numbers. And Salt Shaker, he checked all them boxes, man. Every single box is checked. And y'all can timestamp this to 8:30 in the show. Look, BWatts, I saw him getting active with them legs today. So you could be on to something, but the season ain't there yet. But you could be on to something. So I'm not gonna say that you all the way right, but I'll give you a little credit right there. But look, he's the leader in the room that we expected him to be. He has tremendous talent, both arm talent, and he's able to move the ball with his feet. So that's gonna give the CU offense a different dynamic of a player. Shedeur great in his own right, but we have another quarterback that's ready to step in. And you heard what Sapp said to him. He said, look, man, it's 1845. It's a lot riding on that. And that was the year CU was established as a university. It's to you, Greg.
Well, I put a little salt in I had a little soup today here, fresh off the boat. All that, that's a whole nother conversation. But I see y'all jizzle down there joining the Tanker Club. What's going on? I didn't know that was you, but I make sure when I hit port, I got your little stuff coming out, looking for your ship and everything. Yeah, we back in town. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think people really give credit to the history Coach Prime had down in Texas. They forget he had an advantage. I don't know if that's going to be a new thing people going to try to tap into. Back in the day, high school teams that dominated tapped into the youth football, right? And, the college teams tap into the high schools. Coach Prime has a little funnel going from kids going all the way back. So when you look at how would he know? I didn't know about a Salter, but he would know about a Salter. He was very familiar with a Salter because that was around the time his kids were playing down. So he knew all the guys because he wasn't at college. He was in the high school ball. And before that, he was in the Little League. I'm sure he probably knew about these boys all the way back to Little League. I mean, he was traveling all over the state.
The youngest son played on the Truth team.
Right. So you look at from the time Coach Prime entered into college football, he went into his roots. Everybody was talking about his lack of college experience. He was digging up the Dylan Edwards and all these boys that he'd been dealing with and who they've been dealing with. And the 707 culture took off. These are relationships he had, even the people that he brought on his staff, that he gave opportunity. Even before he got an old boy from Reese from FAM, you look at his recruiting staff, their background at the high school level. So it's not, I don't know, we really even seen him tap fully into it. I know at some point he's going to age out of it, but right now, a lot of these kids are still around the age that has been touched by him at the high school and the youth level. So I think that's what we're experiencing, the history that we see with BJ Green last year. And he's benefiting from that and offsetting his lack of college experience. And so by the time his college experience kicks in, he's benefited from all of that. So that's what I see when you see boys like the Salters and yeah, he did very well at Liberty, but his relationships and his history with Coach Prime and all that prior history allowed us to really benefit from that. So I think that I think that's what we're seeing with that.
Yeah, I agree. Also, when I did my broadcast, when I was by myself, I was telling them, I was sharing when after I did my research, Cedar Hill High School. That's where they all came from. That's where Salter came from, two Salter, Andre Hart, and
Bucky was there, right?
The defensive back coach. Yeah. They all
Bucky was at Cedar Hill too.
They coached there. So yeah, Bucky, yeah. So that's where their history comes. Anybody come out of Cedar Hill, Texas, if they really good, I'm sure Coach Prime them gonna know about them and they're gonna try to bring them up. And that was a good thing with Kalen. Because I think Kalen, the linebacker, the way he playing now, boy, he jumped off the tape, man.
And what numbers he playing?
41.
He'll game. He bring the boom, man.
He got that medical tent number. That medical tent number, 41. Put him in the medical tent.
Yeah.
But I saw you need a good 4 linebackers. Last year we got away with Myrtle because Bentley big toe started hurt, and I was holding my breath, to see Hill Green made it through the season, but that injury bug hit around by Kansas State, and your depth start changing up in certain positions. You you can handle it in certain positions, but other positions you can't. So you need a good 4 linebackers, minimum.
Oh, they got 6. I told JR when he said, I'm worried about the linebacker room. I said,
whoa,
no, sir.
Whoa,
Whatever I bring up, everybody want to run from. Oh, you ought to know what you done said in the past.
I cannot recall. Bring up the
tape. All you got to go back a month ago. It ain't that long. I said, what are y'all concerns about Colorado going for? You said the linebacker room.
Yeah, as far as depth, I never said anything about that talent. I just said
you said your concern was the linebacker room. I told you the linebacker room is the strength of the team.
See, look,
I don't do no research on him.
Greg did shot off too.
Yeah, he was one of them too.
Look at him.
Oh, now you just throwing people in.
Well, he eating though. He eating. Go ahead, eat.
You just throwing people in.
You know what you done said.
He on the roll today. He don't throw in everything with you. You was concerned about the linebacker room too.
Exactly. That's why he did a whole
linebacker room.
You can't never say I was stirred about it. That's my dog. I ain't never did that.
Because we had to fill in those positions we lost.
We already
had no bill.
No, we had not.
When they got KSALTER, when they got Kalen, when Kalen came,
I never said I was concerned with it after the boys came. I said
what Carter came, I said we good. We got 6 on.
Yeah.
I said that we had the good young linebackers. I'm the one that said that we had the depth there after these boys came. But during that transition, we didn't know who was gonna be the starting linebackers. That was at that point.
Well, no, I wasn't worried about who the starting. I'm talking about as a group, as a whole.
But we had already said we had French came in, and what's my guy that came from Jacksonville. They were just no-name guys. And then we had Salter, and then we had our young boys come in and see how they do. We had a couple young boys from last year. I didn't say a word about anything with the linebacker room. It's just a matter of who gonna be who, because we don't know what Goldberg on. You gonna pull the tape? How about that?
I ain't even mentioned them.
I ain't
pull the tape.
I ain't never saw a word about it. You pull the tape.
But all right, JR, the show is in your hands, man. But once again, like I say, I like what I saw today from the quarterback, KSALTER. I think he's stepping up and taking charge of the room, and he's gonna be a big inspiration to Colorado football team going forward. They look up to him. He's gonna be one of the fan favorites, and I understand Juju is still there. He's still doing what he know how to do, and Starks, they looked good at that quarterback position. But I really like from what Darius showed, what I saw, and he said KSALTER counted for 3 TDs today, along with JoJo Williams. He looked good too.
Yeah.
All right, big dog. It's in your hand. The show is in your hand, big dog. You the man tonight.
All right now. All right. Look, hey, everybody, thank you once again for joining with us. You can be anywhere right now, but you're taking the time to spend some time with us tonight. You on Sports Talk with BWatts. The show is curated by BWatts. But tonight, he didn't put it in the Young Bull's hand and JR Boxing's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be hosting the show.
Mm-hmm.
With my counterpart, Greg Said It, the man, the myth, the legend, nighttime buff Greg himself, and BWatts. And we just gonna run down a few things, a few questions that's been on my mind. Nothing too serious, anything like that, but just a few questions. But before we get into those questions, BWatts, I want to give you the opportunity to say you was right, because Greg didn't get what I got. He ain't get that lesson. So, Greg, you got to endure it like I endure it.
No, because I got something to say. I got something to say. Because BWatts me forget stuff.
Go ahead and gloat and glean for a few seconds. But I will say, BWatts was right. He called it 2 months ago. He said a young man was going to hit the portal. I ain't going to say that young man's name, but he did.
I'm trying to figure out, because I think BWatts had something to do with that.
I mean, I believe it was insider information. Yeah. But BWatts said it wasn't.
Some off about it.
But the stock market been up and down for the past few days. So hey,
no, crypto been up and down for the past few months.
Look at him. He ain't got nothing to say now.
Hey, go ahead, BWatts. You ever heard the saying a broke clock, even a broke clock?
He was right.
A broke clock, even a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Oh boy, Greg ain't gonna admit it.
Hey.
I'm gonna wait my time. I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
I wonder. I don't know why y'all so hyped tonight and cutting up tonight. I don't know what's going on. All out of order. JR can't even control the panel. He can't even control the
Whoa. Time out. Look at him. He already taking shots at me. It's your opportunity, BWatts, to say that you were right and forthcoming and foreshadowing and foreseeing that this was going to happen. So go ahead and give us a little spiel about how you came to that conclusion 2 months ago, so Greg can hear it again, and then Greg can rebut to what you got to say. Go ahead, BWatts. It's on you.
All right. I want to say hello to Linebacker down there in the chat. I just saw him. Tim, Isaac, what's going on? I love CC. What's going on? I love CC. I just saw that. Appreciate that. Love you. Appreciate that for doing that for Sports Talk with BWatts. Appreciate it. All right. What's up, RJ? I don't want to keep knocking on that door and all of that, man. You know, I'm good at what I do. That's what I do it for. I try not to bring out negativity or false information that I don't know nothing about. Like I say, I got an eye for things, and if I have an eye for things and I know I'm gonna be right, I'm gonna say it, you know, and I feel it in my heart that what was gonna happen. I could tell the way things was going and all of that through the workouts with Coach Swayze. And the person is arrogant. Uh, he look at like he the best, he the fastest. He think he should be the man. And I'm not saying they got rid of the guy. I think it's you're gonna hear about it later on. It's gonna be something about. I think he went to him about more money. That's my take. NIL money, and they probably told him no, or another team not offering him money. So I don't think Marshall Faulk had anything to do with it. Honestly, I just believe that it gonna come out later on. I think it's just about the money. But like I said, I just knew out of all the running backs and out of the whole team, he would be the first one to hit the portal. Coach Prime said, if you hit that portal, you really don't want to be there with them, no way. And if you see anybody don't want to be with them, they need to hit the portal if they don't want to be there. You know, because Coach Prime is trying to take this team. You keep hearing off of him saying, we want to win it all. They don't change the tone. They want to win it all. And the only way you can win it all, JR, you got to do it as a team. Everybody got to be on the same page. Can't be no big I, no little you. It got to be about a team and let the coaches. They got an all pro coaching staff. They know how to win. And what player in college don't want to play for them unless you just chasing what? An instant bag. When you got the opportunity to go out there and work hard and do the right thing, and they can vouch for you at the next level, man, you got what 150 years of NFL experience on the team. So, you know, I ain't gonna keep knocking to my horn on that particular person or a running back or player. I'm just here for the team. I want to see Coach Prime do good. I want to see him win the Big 12. And as long as KSALTER don't hit that transfer portal, they got a chance. They can do it. They can't lose him. He the engine that stirs the pot. Him along with Joe and C. And yeah, you got about 2 or 3 more that probably can't. As long as they don't lose them, I think they got a chance. They got a chance. But I really do like number 7 at that running back position, along with Brandon Hood looked good today too, man. Boy, he looked good. He looked better than 7 today. I think that's what you said yesterday, JR. So he looked good today. That's all I'm gonna say on I wish him the best wherever he go. May God bless him, and I wish him the best. That's all I gotta say on that. Everybody know I'm right. I be right on everything, you know. It's just y'all.
Here you go.
Yeah, y'all.
BWatts, I appreciate the humble walk you took in explaining how you were correct in predicting that. I appreciate that, BWatts, because if it was me, I would have came in like Kamala Harris. I told y'all. I mean, I ain't gonna say, but I told you.
I did that yesterday.
That's what I would have.
I mean, everybody know I said.
But now, shout out to you, BWatts, again, man. Hey, you saw it coming 2 months ago, and it came. So, Greg, you know, you missed out on it yesterday. I mean, he was letting me have it yesterday, and I let him get it all. Like, go ahead, man. You called it. We had an emergency show.
Yeah,
boom. He went right into it. He took the gloves off. Boom, boom, boom. So, Greg, you know, I know you've been on family vacation. You've been chilling. You back now. So when you saw the news, saw the report, saw the tweet, saw the Instagram post, whatever platform you caught it on, what was your reaction to IA jumping in that portal?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I wasn't. I see these notifications. AT&T. I don't know what's up with them. I get the notifications, but I couldn't open them. So I would see these things pop up. It's like a little tease. So I saw little BWatts, little break-in. Then I saw other stuff come up by IA. So it was pretty interesting to me to see. So I just knew he was gonna show out, right? I couldn't see it though. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy he got this one right. Because I don't know what would have happened, because this show got to go on. So it worked out. But I will add that I said the only possibility that people like him will leave, and I said, y'all remember my combinations, right? You remember my combination? Anybody?
I don't remember that. I don't.
I know you don't, because you be forgetting. Like after you
don't either.
Keep your little right. Keep your little right over there. Y'all remember
the chat ain't gonna go with that.
Okay, chat. Who remember my combinations? We talked about Salter and all that, right? And I said who was gonna be in the backfield, right? I said who was gonna be if it was gonna be anything, it wasn't gonna be your Hayden in the backfield. It was gonna be who? Let me take a wild guess. JR, who I said was gonna be in that backfield is giving that diversity and that look. And this is my theory. Who did I say? Did anybody remember?
I want to say you said Brandon Hood. I want to say
no.
Hood.
No, I said I didn't say Brandon Hood.
I said
stop. I'm just trying to recall what he said.
Hold on.
You got the archives. You can pull the tape up.
No, I didn't say Brandon Hood. You were saying Brandon Hood. You switched. BWatts was saying Brandon Hood. Thank you. Somebody listening. I know my people there. They're my people who listen to my stuff because they know they listen. I said Draylon Miller, who also started at running back last year. Where everybody was doing who gonna start, and he came out the gate as a true freshman,
getting
all the carries. And then we look up. I know I've been on a trip and all, but I did catch with all them pros at the pro day. Who was the only underclassman out there with Shador who got the phone call? Draylon Miller. He out run it after that happened. No, I'm gonna bring it back. He all subject. He all subject. No.
Let him go.
Hold on, Greg.
See how you try to cut me off. See how you cut me off because you know I'm tripping now. Yeah, you can't stop this train. You can't stop this train.
Hold on. You got a super chat. Greg. Shout out to BWatts. You called it out about IA hitting the transport portal. Yeah, when you were right, you're right. You just got to show you some love. Hey, appreciate it, man. I don't know what's wrong with E-Cat. They got to go all the way around to my
I don't know how much love I got to show you. I was just direct. I said you was right.
Nobody remember what they said.
I even put the timestamp on it. I said it.
Look, boy, y'all know that I said when we okay. I think he hit that portal once he saw old boy get that. He said, that's supposed to be me, like you said. I'm supposed to be the one. I'm the running back. I already see it. I'm not the guy. Because they going to put Draylon, man, he taking the handoffs. He taking the catches out the backfield, and then you getting the looks. They're already showing you who the guy is. He the only underclassman out there, and he ain't technically not a running back. But I say he going to be the Debo Samuels with this look. When you put Salter and Draylon together in that backfield, and you got our other receivers out there. We just talked about it like a week ago. I said it's gonna be a matchup nightmare. When we talked about putting Gibson in the slot, and we talked about having O'Miller out there. We had Gibson in the slot, and then we said we put because you wanted to get Farrakhan the other way. I said, well, we mix these boys up in the slot, and we put our big receivers on the outside, and we put a Draylon Miller in the backfield who can come out the backfield, either run or pass, and it's going to be a matchup nightmare.
All right. I remember.
Salter still can run the ball. So even if they cover him out the backfield, they're going to forget Salter still can run the ball. I said it's going to be a matchup nightmare. They're not going to have enough athletes on the field because he's a hybrid. So I think Hayden's going to get his carries, but I think the boy is going to be Draylon Miller, especially with the two-back slot. You notice when I said the two-back set, I said it's going to be Draylon and the other running back, just like they did last year.
Yeah.
And it worked. They just stopped doing it. So you can put Hayden back there, but Draylon going to be the man. Cause he the one can catch out the backfield. You know he gonna catch the ball out the backfield. You seeing him running them real wheel routes on well off.
That's true.
He running them out the backfield.
I give credit. That's the one thing I'm always do. JR Boxing gonna give credit where credit's due. I'ma say when you said it, you said it. BWatts, you said it. Greg, I do recall you saying that. We had it on Thursday night show.
You don't want to share no light. You don't want to share no. You had your show yesterday. I was on the boat.
I didn't say that. I didn't say. What did I tell you yesterday? Did I say yesterday we're not going in the transfer portal to get no running back because we got Draylon gonna be the number 2? I said, what if I tell you Draylon gonna be the number 2?
You said it last night. Okay. You said 2 players. You said Draylon and Isaiah Hard.
Yeah, no.
That's what I said. We put Draylon and Isaiah Hard in that backfield. I mean, we talked about that about a week ago.
Get back to I
mean, look. Hey,
what you said first before we were finna go off. Hold on, JR. He told you, JR. Greg said it, and he told the panel, I'm not going to tune in to Greg said it because Greg said it. Then he said, I'm not going to try to sell you this and sell you by being because Greg said it by IA. He came back and said, that's why you laughing. Hold on.
I said he wasn't going to hit the portal, but I never said he was going to be in the packages I had. Because I said we need the depth. I said you need all your running backs. That's what I said.
I'm talking to JR. JR, he told you. And matter of fact, Coach Dre was on here with us. He said, don't let him off the hook of what he said about IA. Am I right or wrong, JR? Just say yes or no. You say you're a man of truth.
I said IA wasn't gonna hit the portal.
The conversation occurred. The conversation occurred. But moving on. Look, it happened. It happened.
Hey, JR, when we chose our packages, who did I choose to be out there?
You chose who you chose.
I'm talking about the end of the show, JR.
Look,
I'm talking about
it happened.
About the end of the show.
And look, I believe we did our due justice on speaking on the conversation and doing right by the conversation. We didn't take it too far. We spoke to it truthfully and gave our opinions about the situation. And at the end of the day, BWatts, you was right about the situation. So needless to say, we're going to close it out on that. BWatts, you was right. You predicted it, and we spoke about it, and I believe we spoke some truth into it. So
we're gonna be watching BWatts.
I'm gonna start with Greg first, because I'm gonna have to watch BWatts because BWatts gonna try to jump in. So I'm gonna start with you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start with you first, BWatts, because you like to jump in.
Hold on. I keep overlooking A1 Sport. Hey fella, BWatts was right. Y'all was wrong. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it. A1
one thing about that said
about 5 times myself.
They be listening.
I said it about 5 times myself. So this the 5th show running that I'd had to admit that BWatts was right about something. I'm keeping a tally at this point. But we 5 shows in. But
I'm glad
BWatts' question gonna go to you first, BWatts. It's gonna go to you first, BWatts.
You got that one right.
Now that we are, we're a few days out from the actual spring game. Guys working hard. We're able to see a little bit more. We're coming up on the second scrimmage. So my question is, BWatts, there's a difference between wants and needs, right? You need something and you just kind of want it. Like, I don't actually need it, but I would like to have it. I kind of want that. So what are some needs/wants that you see that we need to address in the spring portal? Now you can break that down by position group, or you could just speak specifically to maybe a player or something that you're keeping up with in the transfer portal. But what are some needs/wants that you think our team should go after? The Buffaloes, who you think they should go after?
Okay, all right. That's a good question, JR. A good question. You're doing good so far. That's a good question. What the team really need right now, they need They need KSALTER to be a leader, the quarterback of the whole group. That's what a quarterback for. He need to be a leader, a spokesman for the whole group. I know he's new. I know he's not familiar with everybody. They need him to take control of the whole team. Not saying that he's not doing it right now because I'm not up there. I'm not behind the scenes. But then when you look at the player that we need, they need a wide receiver. They need that 6'5", 190-pound wide receiver that's in the transfer portal that's going to visit this weekend.
Talking about Sincere Brown.
Yes, it's Sincere Brown. They need that's a need. That's a need. They need that because when y'all were looking at the throws today from JoJo and even KSALTER, they had a couple of incompletion in the end zone because I think they ran plays from the 10, the 5, and the 1. But the plays from the 10,
the 5, the 3, it was a 5-yard line, 3-yard line, and 1 yard line.
Okay.
5,
okay,
3,
the
and
5-yard line. The 5-yard line. That's when he would have came and played. Now JoJo caught his passes, but on this side, if you look at DJ McKinnon was covering Omarion Miller. He's not healthy because he can't jump that high like he used to, and that's why those passes was incomplete. They need a taller wide receiver because our defensive backs, DJ Hood, RJ Johnson, DJ McKinnon and RJ Johnson, they the same height as our wide receiver. They contest those passes. So that is a need to me. And two more needs. A right tackle, somebody to step up to the plate, or they got to hit that transfer portal and fine because it's going to show his head during the regular season. And the last position they need is a need, or it's a safety. They need a safety. They need a safety. You don't went from Cameron Simeon to Shaw, and you got to play a 4-game stretch in the middle of the season against BYU, Iowa State, Kansas State, and TCU. If one of those safety gets hurt, like to keep a bias, well, you stuck in that 4-game stretch with Ben at your safety. And I'm let me know how that is turn out.
I'm kind of agreeing with you. Look, more and more when it comes to safety. Look, and Carter, I still trust, right? But the thing is that I'm starting to see a little bit is that we haven't seen Taufik Byard show up on the tape yet. That's something I know. Now, it could be purposefully that they are leaving him off of film and not showing highlights and stuff like that. That could be purposefully. They could be doing that on purpose. But it's also alarming to me as a fan of the team, viewer of both Bucky and Darius channels and Uncle Neely's channel, is I haven't seen that, break up pass or covering down on the tight end or the interception or anything like that. So BWatts, there you go right there. But Greg, look, to you, I'm going to repeat the question. What is a want or need that you think the team needs? Or that you think the team needs to address either in the transfer portal or within the rooms, the position groups or rooms themselves? So you can break it down by the rooms, what you need or want from those rooms, or what you need or want to address in the transfer portal.
I would start with I just seen another one that hit the portal was Sam Hart. I know he was hurt, but he was supposed to be that guy last year. He never really was healthy and whatever else. And I was hoping that with the new tight end that you begin to build some depth in that room. We're not leaning back on my boy Savion from last year. I'd love to see Savion kind of move more in a hybrid fullback, lead and block, but not a tight end. He's not the size and the skills of a tight end. So tight end room needs a little more size and depth that I thought they was developing. I know they got a couple guys, and I know one has stood out. They may need to go get some more tight ends, especially you lost one. You definitely, I don't know what's going on in the line room. You get flashes of it. It could be better. It could be worse. but definitely a right and left tackle, really, or somebody who can play both, because I see it. You feel comfortable with Jordan Seaton, but you know what you got behind him. I know they kind of trying to play with that. So that area. Also, when you're dealing with, I think you always have enough defensive linemen because the injuries and stuff. I mean, we went to the point last year that we had 3-4 of them out instantly at the same time, right in the middle of that season. And they were out for like 4-5 games. I don't know what happened with Keaton Wade. I think they say he gone. I know he been injured in and out. So the edge
he injured. He ain't gonna.
they threw his name in there too. Somebody he was
No, he's
not
still
on the roster.
Yeah, he's still on the roster.
Yeah, so you got to maintain your depth in those, because like you said, that's a hard run. It's gonna be a harder run this year than last year, because you know what those teams did last season, and you know, and you missed all of them. They thought the teams you were playing was gonna be Utah, Arizona. They ended up not being it. So now you playing all those teams, West Virginia, Houston. You got to come and see all them things that you missed last year, who end up being the team. So that safety is going to be another one, like you said. I don't know, because I mean, like you said, you don't want to be stuck with a Ben, because I don't think Ben is a coverage guy. I don't see him get ran past by a lineman, you know, defensive lineman. So I don't know what he's doing at practice. He may be great coming out making tackles and knowing the defense, but boy, he'd be like Trevor Woods out there in coverage. I'm telling you. So, and that open spiel, Trevor Woods had ended up being a linebacker after all that stuff. He made it to a linebacker.
Talk about.
We went from a linebacker to a quarterbacker.
I'm all about giving out straight shots. But come on, man. Don't do it. Come on.
Trevor Woods never recovered.
Talk about, man. Leave T. Woods alone, man. Leave T. Woods alone, man. He's a Texas guy, Katy, Texas, man.
That's the problem. Alone, man. They left him alone. They ain't picked him up. So I'm saying that was a long fall.
Leave him alone, Greg. Shout out to Trevor Woods, man. Katy, Texas. Hold your head, young man. He'll land somewhere, man. It'll happen. But yeah, Greg, I mean, look, you said a lot of good things in there. Hey, we did lose a tight end. Is that a position of want or need? Will they address it in the portal or whatever like that? But I honestly, I think the tight end room is pretty shored up. BWatts, I agree with you. Look, that wide receiver, we talked about it last night. Bring in a big guy, 6'5" or 6'4", whichever one they can bring into the program. Somebody with a big catch radius would definitely show and prove in that red zone. Because that's what they were practicing on, 5, 3, and 1. From the 5, from the 3, from the 1. And initially starting off, it took a little time for that engine to start. But once they got into the second half of practice, it took off. So, but
it still got another tight end coming in. It still got another tight end coming in that ain't got there yet. He got high school.
He ain't there yet. I want to say it's a young man from Tennessee.
I think that tight end room is good. We good at tight end.
Yeah.
We're good at tight end.
You don't want nobody to have an injury and then you like.
We got 5 tight ends. I don't know why
it's 5 of them now.
Yeah,
I'm not counting Ville Smalls as a tight end.
Man.
We've been saying numbers. Greg come back. Look, Greg been out for a while. Greg been enjoying the open seat.
Yeah, I was out there. But let me tell you, this is why I say that. I'm not knocking him. I'm talking about he's a tight end, but he's more like a H-back tight end. You know, he's like a hybrid, certain packages, but don't send him on no routes. Don't put him out there in the wide open.
The tight end coach, he did his press conference. They say Smail Smalls making big strides, doing real good.
Yeah, I think last year was definitely an indictment on 31 as far as it was something new to him. Yeah, sure, he played in high school, but throughout your early stages of your college football career, you have played defensive end. He sacrificed, he took one for the team, We need you in a position that we are lacking depth in, lacking athleticism in. So he came into the position, and it didn't transpire on the field. But if he's taking strides, that's all you can ask for. And then, Greg, you're right. Look, coaching staff put him in the best situation to be successful on the field, utilize his talents and his strengths to the best possible way. And I think we'll be able to do that. But nevertheless, I like all your takes on it. It was good.
BWatts was talking about size. That's one area you can make up for in size easily and get 2, 3 for 1. You can get a guy who can block. You can get a guy who can go get the ball, and you can get that 6'6" guy in there. It's hard to get a 6'6" guy in at receiver that'd be worth something. But you can go get you one of them 6'6", 6'5", 260, 250 tight ends. That's what I'm saying about Savell Small. He's not the size that we need to be able to take advantage of. He can play certain roles.
Yeah.
But when you talk about getting that guy in that red zone who hit his head on the goal pole, that's what I'm saying, like far as tight end.
All right. Well, look,
I think they got 3 on that size.
Ooh, yeah, they lost hard. Who else?
They some young guys.
They still got the 3 guys. They got the guy that been starting number 88, number 86. Yeah.
Yeah, they some young guys. But nevertheless, man, look, I think y'all did a great breakdown of some needs and some wants. BWatts, I really like that need of saying that, look, we need salt. We need the salt shaker to be that leader, to galvanize not only that QB room, but the team as well. Because often when we look at the game of football, we do look at the quarterback as the leader. And I think from what I see, man, he's making tremendous strides, man. He's being more vocal, especially today with Darius highlighting him specifically and having that microphone, having him mic'd up. So I love that, man. So shout out to Darius, man. Reach the People Media with that excellent breakdown, that 15-minute breakdown with highlighting our guy Salt Shaker, man, Kaidon Salter. So I like that, man. And I look forward to seeing more of it. But this leads me to the next question of, look, we lost some heavy hitters. We lost 12, 2, 14, 5, 10. We lost some heavy hitters. 2-1 headache gang CEO. That's Shark 7. We lost some heavy hitters. So who got next? Who next up? Who is next up? BWatts, you already mentioned KSALTER, but who's next up to be that face for our program this year? Who next up? Greg, I'm going to start with you this time. Who next up, Greg?
Well, outside of just who we've been talking about all, since the beginning, I think you start there because that's the biggest hole. I mean, you had a superstar. He got rap songs. He got this line, that line. I mean, he brought, a lot of the notoriety to the team outside of being a Sanders. But that's typically your guy. I mean, that's always been your guy. That's on every level. That's your guy. So you got big shoes to fill there, far as, because you really think about it, when you don't have it, not only is the team not good, but it's like people don't really pay attention to it. That's why you look at the big brands like the Brett Favre's, you look at the Peyton Manning's, you building a brand because that's what that team, you the face of that team. So Mr. Salter has no other choice but to be that guy. If he filling in that shot, that because that's just universally, but then you got Shedeur Sanders. So as long as he's performing and continue with this whole we coming as we know it, with the whole, record and going to the Big 12 and going to the playoff and that whole mission going forward, he's in a real good position to be that guy. So I would say he would be the next up. As long as they winning, he the next up. I mean, on the offensive side, I would say at least.
All right, the guys that next up, Coach Prime showing us who the next up. When you look at the press conference, them the ones he's sending out there, them the guys at the face of the team. Started out with Salter and Juju, they the face of the team. Then came Jordan C. He the face of the team. Then came Draylon Miller. He's the face of the team. Those are the guys that Coach Prime is throwing out there. And today they throwed out the person who I told you and Steve Tuesday gonna be the best lineman on Colorado this year for us giving up sacks. And that's Zy Chrysler. They throw him out there today. Them the 5 guys that gonna be the face of Colorado. Coach Prime ain't doing no press conference now. He's throwing out his players. Who's gonna be the next ones up? Like I said, throw out KSALTER, Juju. Then he throwed out Jordan C. Oh, and he throwed out DJ McKinney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Them the face. Draymond Miller. Them the ones we going. That's the face of the team. And like I said, he threw Zach Chrysler out there today. And I heard DNVR said the same thing today. Them the leaders right there, because Coach Prime let them go to the press instead of him going out there. And they the one who talking for the team, which is a good move too. Because when you look at Jordan C, Jordan C everybody know that Jordan C team. There ain't no secret. Yeah. It's his team. It really should be Omarion Miller team, but he's still fighting that thing. I think he's still fighting. I think he's still fighting that injury thing a little bit. That he ain't comfortable.
Take his time. He ain't got nothing to prove. Take his time to be ready.
So that's why I'm looking at there. And also they throwed out Arden Walker too out there. So those guys right there, you see when you can tell who Robert Livingston going with. After he give his final statement, every time I don't see him at practice, Arden Walker break it down. He never called on nobody else but Arden Walker. Arden Walker. Pat Sherman walk out there, say what he got to say in the morning. Robert Livingston walk out. Soon as he get through, Arden Walker. Break it down. He's the leader. He been out there at the press conference, and that's them the guys right there. Them 6 guys, them the leaders.
Well, let me ask you something.
And
did I miss something?
What you got, Ray? What's up?
Well, Hodge, he's supposed to be coming. What's going on with him? Did I miss something?
He just hurt.
He hurt like that?
Who was that?
Yeah.
Who hurt?
Tufo.
Oh yeah, he hurt.
Yeah, he just hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, he been hurt all through the end of the season, all the way into the spring weightlifting session. I mean, he worked out and stuff like that, but I haven't seen him in a padded practice yet. He had on, I want to say he had on a shell today. He had on pants, shell, and helmet, but no, he ain't put on no shoulder pads yet. But he been hurt. So it's been since, I think he got hurt, maybe the second to the last game of the season last year? And it's just been all the way.
Him and Hood both hadn't practiced now. I think it's just waiting, get through.
I'm saying, what's the issue with Hodge? I mean, outside of it.
I don't know what he is.
Yeah, outside of the injury, only thing I can think of is maybe he just, more of a reserve guy. That's all, that's all I can think of. I mean, it's not like he don't lack the talent. The talent is there. But as far as Preston Hodge, he said it himself on camera. Yeah, I'm just more of a relaxed guy. So that his leadership may just come through play on the field. And then once he on the field playing, then he'll probably feel more comfortable to say, all right, this is how we got to operate and do stuff. But if you are a reserve guy and you want to show your leadership through play on the field, but you're not able to get on the field and practice, so he kind of just kind of falling back. Let me worry about getting my body healthy. This is my last year, so I got to get healthy. Outside of anything else, sure, you can want me to be a leader and stuff like that. I got to get myself healthy first, because this is it. Everything is in it this year. So, he got a lot of tape out there, but this, he want to add on to that tape. So I think he's just working on getting his body right.
Well, I'll put Omarion Miller over there with him. And just let him just fully recover. And don't put no pressure. He ain't trying to prove that no spring game, no practice. Just go chill out.
Yeah, get your body right. Because we need you for the season. You know? But yeah, I like that breakdown. I like that breakdown. All the players y'all identified, especially, going through the coaching staff and things like that. So I like it. And definitely notice, and I know everybody in the chat, I know we noticed that too. The guys that they're sending up to that podium, those are probably going to be the faces of the guys that's coming up to take CU to greater heights this year. So I like it, man. It's a great breakdown from both of y'all. And that leads me into it. BWatts, when you said you see who them coaches sending out there. So my question to you, BWatts, is what coach has the most to prove this year? Now, it don't have to just be the coordinator. I'm talking about from the defensive coordinator to the offensive coordinator to the running backs coach to the wide receiver coach to the DN coach, all the way down. What coach has the most to prove this year? Because I saw something interesting. You know how Coach Prime be like, how you feel? Fired up. How you feel? Good. How you feel? He was fired up today in that video. He said something over there to the offensive side of the ball on that sideline. He said, now I know y'all didn't just run that play not knowing that we not supposed to score. Like, what's going on? What are we paying attention to? You heard that. And then, boom, a few segments later, he over there laying into that defense, laying into him, letting them know, come on, God, dog, you get it right. Let's go. So to me, they often say players are a reflection of the coaches, right? So what coach has the most to prove this year?
I won't say none. They don't prove themselves. Coach Prime already now, he wouldn't have never brought them in. They wasn't proven. They don't prove themselves. You can't say it's the defensive coordinator, for my opinion. He gonna have a head coaching job coming up if they do good this year. When you look at Pat Sherman's been a head coach. He's been an offensive coordinator at the NFL level. Ain't no pressure on Pat Sherman. He know what to do. He good. He's gonna get another head coaching job also, I believe. And if you just want me to name a coach,
give us somebody.
I don't see nobody. The coaching staff is legit. I don't see nobody. The defense coordinator ain't going nowhere. The offense coordinator ain't going nowhere. The tight end coach ain't going nowhere. Coach Hart ain't going nowhere. If I say, well, coach got to prove himself, I don't see one.
No, but I feel it. Look, hey,
I don't see nobody. If you talking about somebody on the hot seat, what you talking about?
No, just who has the most to prove. They don't have to be on the hot seat. I'm not saying nobody's job is on the line. I'm just saying somebody got a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove. It could be Pat Shermer wanting to prove to say, look, I know Shador. He was the maestro. He was this. We was putting up 30 points a game, 30.4 points a game. We could still do that this year. We could put up more.
Okay.
Things like that. So it don't have to be a negative.
Okay.
It's not negative.
Okay. Coach Prime, he got to show. He want to show. He want to let y'all know. He want to let y'all know I can do this without Shador. I can do this without Trav because I done went to Texas and got my homeboy. Them Salt brothers, one at linebacker and one at quarterback, and we finna do this. They showing you glimpses. So what are you gonna do? Coach Prime is the one. He the one.
That's the BWatts I'm talking about right
there.
He
don't know hot seat because he just signed a 5-year contract. Boy, I'm finna turn up, and this lead is mine. I'm changing the game in college football, and you're gonna recognize it. Quit trying to hold my boys in hostage because of me.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Coach Prime
on it, BWatts
is the one who got to stand up in that paint. He know he hear the chatter. He know what people saying and what he's thinking. He's a competitor. He should want to know himself. Boy, I'm finna show y'all I'm finna win this Big 12 championship. I believe Coach Prime is finna prove to himself and everybody else. He ain't got to prove it to me. I know what he gonna do. I know they got a team. They got a team. They back 3 to 5 players away for his depth wise, winning the Big 12. Bar injuries.
Look, BWatts, that's what I'm talking about right there. I didn't want to just come out and say it could be the head coach, it could be. That's why I started with coordinators.
I didn't know what you
broke down the position group, but that's what I'm talking about. BWatts, man, I like that. I do. I feel the same way. That's my pick. I believe Coach Prime will. He hear the naysayers. Yeah, he hear the naysayers.
That's the way he went off today. The way he went off. Yeah, the way he went off over to the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Yeah, he went off today.
I told you. I said it. I want to say it when it was me, you, and Uncle Steve, and Coach Dre. I want to say that I said Coach Prime, he gonna be short on those. My bad, coach, and that's from coaching staffs and the players, because there was a level of comfort when you got 2, 12, 21, 7, 5, 10. There's a level of comfort there to my bad, coach, or hey, my bad on that play. Even with Livingston last year, because he knew, Livingston was calling some play. Hey, my bad on that. Why were we in this even? That's my bad on that. Livingston even came out. Yeah, that's my bad on that. I should have put the team in a better position in that Kansas State loss, right? Coach Prime, he out of them my bads. It ain't no more my bad, coach. Right. He get somebody else in there that can do the doggone thing. We moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to you, Greg. The same question. Like, what coach do you feel has the most to prove? And by prove, I'm not saying they're on the hot seat, anything like that, but it's just, hey, prove, show they work. They getting it out the mud, whatever the case may be.
Well, I would think that it's the room that's been dogged the most. He just fired his homeboy and assistant coach. We said, oh, he's sick. He was sick last year, and next year, he pop up at Wyoming. The number one position that everybody complained about that needs to be developed, that's the running back room. I think that's the room that has to prove the most. Because everybody say, see, you got this, but they ain't got no running game. They can't run the ball. They can't. It's been a lot of spotlight on the running back room for one reason or another. For the last 2 years, some got to go. You don't win and got a Hall of Famer to fix that room. That's how serious you was. So that was an important room, to go and get somebody else. He could have left his homeboy Flea in there, but Flea was the assistant head coach. He wasn't just the running back coach. You out, he there. All the way back since Jackson State. If you ain't showing you serious about that room, you got rid of one of your most trusted guys. And then you got a Hall of Famer. You showing right there that you expect to do something and show something in the room. I know BWatts is like sucking on a lemon over there because he swore we're finna run the ball, right? Wasn't that him?
You still ain't. I still. I tell you that yesterday?
You gonna get your AI get back. You gonna get your AI good back, your IA good back, cause he sure ain't right about that. That really why we was on him about IA, because he was really just trying to say y'all ain't gonna have no running back room. So when you have a running back room, we're gonna run this show back and we're gonna have the same.
You keep saying you said we're not gonna have no 1,000-yard rushing. That's what I'm emulating.
I know I'm not gonna put all the technicalities on there, but you remember you was talking about that 80-20, 70-30. We were talking about that ratio thing was like. You say they finna air the ball out. Yeah, and only Salter gonna run the ball. Only Salter.
And I still said it yesterday. Stand on.
Hey, standing on. A1 Sports said it right there. Look at that. The chat agreed.
Yeah. Agree what? Agree with what?
They agree. This running back room is gonna be a major transformation. And it's
gonna be that. I ain't seen nobody say that about no running back room.
Chat. Go ahead. BWatts denial. Go help him. Chat. Help him out. BWatts in denial.
Hold on. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Big Tiger said O-line position is the most pressure. I'm going back. Shout
out Big Tiger. What's up, Big Tiger?
Going back for Greg. What's up, Big Tiger? What's going on? Let me go back for Greg. He just came back, y'all. He missed y'all.
I ain't miss. One thing I didn't miss is you saying that there wasn't gonna be no running game. I didn't miss that.
It still ain't. It ain't gonna be none.
Okay, so we got this clip. We got this 4-10.
I'm on record from day one. You ain't got to be no clip. I'm gonna come back and tell you what I'm wrong.
Real hard. He got the little IA. He really feeling it. He feeling it. His little inside information has really got him like he confident.
Oh, no, man, cut it out, man. Cut it out.
They playing jokes on you, man.
I'm right. All right, they go Coach Dre. He said,
shout out Coach Dre. What up, Coach Dre?
Office line. So I ain't seen. I don't know what you talking about.
A1 Sports said right there.
They saying Ghana, you got one person sent you a 199 said Cook Greg. Okay. Cook Greg.
You knocking the super chat.
He put that on 199
said go back.
You see how he do it?
If you said you would have been flashing it on the screen. You would have been flashing it 10 times. That's all we want to do.
Man.
You see how
that's undeniable. That's a position that, hey, we all as fans have spoke about since they got there, since the beginning of being there, of man, what's going on with the running backs? What's going on with the utilization of the running backs?
Ain't nobody saying the running back room with Greg and A1 Sports. So that's it. Yeah,
but you gotta respect his answer. Which coach has most proof, but I like it though. I like it. It was a good breakdown on both sides. BWatts went with Coach Prime.
Y'all been talking about that running back room for 2 years.
Yeah.
Not me.
We've been talking about the offensive line room for 2 years too. So you pick your poison. And both of those kind of intertwine with each other. So the success of one will probably mean success of the other. So I definitely think, in my opinion, if we have better O-line play, that will contribute to better running back room productivity as well. So I think those two things are kind of intertwined together. But I like what BWatts said with Coach Prime. Look, hey, you've been with your boys since Pee Wee, all the way through high school, all the way to Jackson State, and it ceremoniously ended at Colorado with a 9-4 season. And Coach Prime even, he spoke to it like early during that first early team meeting, that very first team meeting. He said, man, it's a little bit different. My feeling about it coming in a little bit different, because those faces that he's been used to seeing over the years, they starting to dwindle down. The 2 gone, 12 gone, 2-1, 7, some of the only original guys there left now is what? JB, Mata. Who else came from that? From Jackson State? JB, Mata. I want to say it's one more from the Jackson State board.
No, that's it, bro.
That might be it. So yeah, I mean, to me, I think that definitely. Like Coach Prime probably well past it now, as far as having that moment of sitting back and looking at Tyler Brown. There we go. So it's just those 3. So he's probably well past that moment now. You're fully entrenched into the spring and everything like that, and all the other activities involved with the team as well. But I like both answers. I like BWatts. I like your answer, Coach Prime, and Greg, I like yours with that running back room, Marshall Faulk. But again, shout out to Coach Flea. Got that job out there in Wyoming. And hey, Wyoming on the schedule. And like I told BWatts last night, now, if Wyoming come in here and run for 250 on us, man, we gonna be like, what's really happening?
Look at that face he making, see that face he making. He ain't playing with you.
But yeah, we about an hour and 10 in, man. Y'all cooking, man. I like it. Now
we're gonna beat Wyoming by 30, 50 points.
Probably about 25, 30. I see that. But what I will say, look, I've been having some extra time on my hands as I've been closing up, wrapping up a few things for the first stage of my retirement. So I've been, doing some charting and some noting and closing out some things for some patients I said I was going to do it for. So I've been closing it out. But as I'm doing that, I'm able to finally look at sports TV throughout the daytime. And the topic of conversation on ESPN, FS1, wherever you get your news from, I'm even catching a little YouTube sports. They all talking about this NFL draft and coming up. And they've been, look, I'm starting taking fits of how they dragging our boy name through the mud. And I'm talking about no other than Shedeur Sanders. Now, for me, I understand it, the evaluation process and where you start is not always where you finish and things like that. But they talking crazy out here. And there's a lot of analysts that are starting to piss me off a little bit. Excuse my language, BWatts. I'm just saying, it's starting to get to me a little bit. So I want to get y'all perspective on it to see, like, what's with the mudslinging in the quote unquote official media when it comes to Shedeur and his draft projections. We'll start with you, Greg. What you think about that, man?
I mean, if we didn't see the thing coming, I mean, they've been dragging him since this fake rap concert. So you got to look at it. Come with the territory. I mean, sometimes you throw a little stuff at people and hope they hang themselves. So originally it was like, okay, he all right. He coming from the HBCU. He's a little daddy's son. He'll do all right, and he'll take care of himself. And then the guy come out there and throw like 5 touchdowns the first game. He be like, oh shucks, this little HBCU daddy ball boy. Okay, well, you can't do this. Well, you can't do that. You couldn't say much. He's not throwing a lot of interceptions. He's consistent. And so now you got to come up with some stuff off the field. He ain't giving you much off the field. He ain't getting in trouble. So you got to come up with this and that. What his daddy did. So it's like, you seen the pattern. They weren't giving him credit his first year. Then he going to his second year. You just knew he gonna be a top quarterback. He ain't on nobody All-American list. He ain't on no real nothing. No real Heisman contender. Just looking for a reason to opt them out the first couple weeks. You already knew they weren't trying to give him a chance at the Heisman. So you got to look at the fact that that's the writing was on the wall. They were making comments. I didn't believe it at first. Oh, you're not gonna be drafted at that high. You're not gonna be this. There's no way they can do that. But they kept speaking it. So I'm not as surprised that they would try, even if it's not true. They're gonna keep putting out there what they've been doing for the last 2 years. That's how I see it.
All right,
BWatts. What you got, BWatts? What you got to say about that?
I'm finna give it to you. You might not like I give it to you, but I'm finna give it to you. But later on, you'll come back and say, like you always do, boy, you're right again. Here we go.
That was a one-off.
You say always. He said you always doing it now.
All right, here we go. Check this out. What's going on with the talk of Shedeur? You got to remember, his father is Deion Sanders. Everything Deion, Coach Prime has done has been successful in sports, football, playing, coaching. Then he decided he would coach his sons and no one else. Right? All right. As they got up in age, Jackson State, as Greg said, then to Colorado. Shedeur got better. He got real good. And he started talking like his dad in the press conference. He started talking like Coach Prime, confidence-wise, what I mean. Confidence. I know I'm good. I'm good at what I do. I got that swag. I started throwing up that watch, that wrist, add more to the flame. And I'm being honest, it's a good thing. I ain't gonna say that part because I know he want to go to New York. But check this out. He want to go to New York. I know he do, but I wouldn't want him. He think it they tough now. You sure enough gonna be in a bigger market. But the reason why they trying to get to Shador because they want Coach Prime. Coach Prime got Travis Hunter to go to Jackson State. He was committed to Florida State. Look at the pattern. Look at the pattern. Look at the pattern. Coach Prime got Travis to go to Jackson State. That's unheard of, man. The #1 player in the country to go to Jackson State, a HBCU. All right, go forward. He went to Florida and got Kamada McClain, the #1 cornerback in college football, to come to Colorado. When Alabama couldn't do it, Ohio State couldn't get him, Florida and Florida State. Then he picked up Jordan C., another #1 offensive tiger coming out of high school. It was other people who wanted them. So Shador is still playing Jordan C. close to 2. Coach Prime done picked up Travis Hunter. The next year, he got Kamada McClain. The next year, he got Jordan C. Well, what's next? What else can he do? And here go the blow. He took Juju from USC. Listen, he got Travis Hunter. He picked up Kamada McClain. He picked up Jordan C. And now he got Juju. The prodigal son from USC. From USC. And that picture, him handing them keys to Jordan C. I mean to Juju. Yeah, Shador.
Yeah, Shador to Juju.
It just didn't go around in our circle. That thing went nationwide, brother. What is Coach Prime got going on up there? What he got going on up there? So they trying to knock Shador down so they can get the Prime some kind of way. But they can't touch Prime. Then he went in that transfer portal and got the #1 quarterback out of that transfer portal and KSALTER. They can't touch Prime. Everything Coach Prime is touching right now is being successful. Bill Belichick copying Coach Prime. He copying every move Coach Prime made. You got Lil Wayne last year. I'm gonna get Lil Wayne this year. We can't get Shador. All of them in there together, brother. I'm telling you, they in there together. All the college football and pro football. All them guys that don't have my name. They in there together, if you catch what I'm talking about. And they're gonna take it out on Shador. They're gonna take it out on Shador that the short 1, 2, 3. But Shador is built for this. He built for it. Coach Prime already told us we don't win over. We know what's going on. That's why they jumping on him like that. And he's standing strong. Today, I seen he interviewing at Pittsburgh today. I seen the picture. He's down there. And I think it's really a smoke screen. I really still think Shador is going to Cleveland. I really do. If he don't go to Tennessee. That's why I see. They want Prime. They can't get him. He's too slick. He been here before, as my grandma say. Somebody been here before. You can't get him. You can't touch him. So that's what I feel why they going to do. How can your draft stock go down and you ain't played no football in 2 months? 3 months since December.
Politics.
He's #1 quarterback now.
Politics.
How can it go down? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They got a narrative out there.
You want to know why I can go down?
They take it and run with it.
You want to know why I can go down?
What you got? Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Football is entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go to professional football, it's even more entertainment, right? It's it's kind of trickled down to the college level with the football contracts for the schools and the more networks and stuff. But the original production of football happened at the NFL level. They the one who mastered it first. They even got a company, the NFL production. This is an NFL production. All the behind the scenes, behind the football, 30 for 30, all that was football, right? At the NFL level. So these organizations at the top where Coach Prime came from with the TV and all of that, it's all about control. I mean, you're branding, they're in a lot more control. I'm just gonna use that word lightly. It's a lot more control going on far level with the teams and how the year going to go. So who's going to be on which teams and how they get them there? They got to finesse that thing on some level. It may not even be as personal or as whatever we think. It may be made to look that way, but I'm just gonna stop there. I mean, they're in control of a lot more components than just playing football because it's storylines involved. We see a touch of it in the college football, how they can make certain teams win. It's a lot more of that at the NFL level. So it's not so much about, the best players going to go to certain teams. They're going to maneuver certain people to be on certain teams for that storyline to come together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we gotta take in consideration that component is important too. It's not always about who the best player and the best team. They got to structure that thing right for it to come together. And that will determine where he go, Travis Hunter go. It ain't Coach Prime decision, ain't their decision. It's them powers that be within that level. Those.
I tell you what, JR, you remember when Steve told us about the Pro Bowl is all about what? When all the rich white owners come together, is all about. I don't want to say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it. But yeah,
You know when Steve gave us that breakdown that time?
Yeah.
Hey, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, dog. So, like I say, Coach Prime ain't gonna have no control over this way you go. He might have a say, but I don't think he have control on where he may go.
That thing bigger than football. Just say it like that.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying. So,
but that's real. That's real though. How can you, throughout the season, you at this point? Because mind you, scouts are still scouting you throughout the season. They're scout. It's not like
scouts up every
Yeah, it's not like they start scouting you after the season done. Sure, they can go more in depth, I guess, but these NFL franchises have a robust department when it comes to scouting. So they sending out regional scouts, directors. They sending out all of these people throughout the year to watch games, to show up to practices, to break down film and footage, to see what are future needs of the team and all of that stuff. And to me, I don't know, I want to say BWatts, I want to say you said it, or maybe Greg said it, how your stock go down and you ain't played football in 2 months. But that's just a part of it. The NFL is such a copycat league. You can see the way they drafted quarterbacks last year with you got Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. They two are the same quarterbacks. Then you go down to Bo Nix with his athletic ability. Same style quarterback as J.J. McCarthy. Same style quarterback as Michael Penix. Earlier in Michael Penix's career at Indiana, he was more of a scrambler. Then when he got to Washington, he was kind of like in the pocket guy because he just had a lot of dynamic receivers out there at Washington. But it's all the same. So to me, I think the NFL is lazy in the evaluation process because if they say, hey, we just get a guy that can do what that guy just did, Jaden Daniels just did, then we good. So they just try to make it easier for themselves, and they forget about the tools, the Dak Prescotts, the Teddy Bridgewaters of the NFL. They forget about guys like that. And when I think about Shedeur, I like to often compare him to Dak Prescott as far as mobility, as far as pocket play, as far as arm strength. Like you look at, and a lot of people are down on, a lot of people got a lot to say about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, the highest paid person in the NFL. You don't get paid unless you produce. His numbers up there every year. Now, people can say, oh, the Cowboys don't win. They're American team and they don't win a championship. Hell, I see it. And I despise the Cowboys. But what I can't deny is the talent that Dak Prescott is. You look, he finished at the top every year, whether it's in touchdowns, whether it's yards, passing yards, per game passing yards, and then passing percentage. He's finishing at the top. He's usually in the top 7 in all those categories all throughout the year and to finish the year off. Right. So if Shedeur can have if Shedeur can emulate or even do better what Dak Prescott is doing, to me, you got a guy. You got a player. You got a guy. And for two, man, I hope he go where he wants to go. If I were to pick a team for him myself, I would love for Mike Tomlin to go up and get him. Give a little bit, get up there around pick whatever 10, 9 or something like that. Maybe you could trade out with New Orleans or something like that. But if I had a pick, I would say, go to Pittsburgh, a winning culture, a coach that has improved their offense. Now, their offensive line got to do some improvement. They still got to work on some things there. But you look at the targets that they brought in. They got DK Metcalf. They got Pickens. You got some guys there. You got
what about this, JR?
Number 19. Huh?
What about this reality? What if it is designed and it's showing you it's designed to let him know that he's not in control?
Man, look.
You're talking about an organization that I said that's in control, and you come in with your ideas. They got to quickly let you know that you're going to go in line with us. If you're going to be one of us, have the recognition at this level, you gotta quickly learn that we're in the control here. You have some ideas and some plans, but we're going to show you our plan. And I'm going to give you an example. Music industry. You go into the music industry, you bright-eyed, you got this vision for yourself, and then you go in there and they say, hey, this is how this gonna go. These are the songs you finna sing. This is how your image is gonna be. This is what you're gonna do, and there's levels to even that you get into conspiracy. But the whole thing is, once they sign that thing off and you're at the big time, it's not no longer, most people is not saying I'm making decisions at that point. You made decisions all the way up to that point to get yourself seen. But you get there, they're gonna say, look here, we decide how you gonna look, how you gonna represent yourself, if you gonna have a career. And it's like, I don't see the professional sports as an entertainment vehicle being much different than the entertainment, because entertainment quick to let you know who's boss. And the people who don't usually go along with it, stuff happen to their career and to them. And it gets really weird. And I don't think that professional field is that far off. So when you start seeing this media stuff, what they call shaming or whatever they call it, where you see people kind of come in and they kind of like, you go through this public shaming process before, it's almost like hazing.
Yeah,
of course. I don't know. I mean, that could be what they're doing. You can't feel like you're in control. We got to quickly put you in your place.
I mean, look, that could very well be, some context behind that, and I'm not going to touch that. But look, as I kind of saw some feeds through the chat, look, don't let your dislike or distaste for the Dallas Cowboys put you in a place where you say Dak Prescott not a good quarterback. Dak Prescott he's a good quarterback. He is a good quarterback. And I want to say it was A1 Sports to say stats not everything. Dak Prescott is a professional. He's gonna go to the podium. He's gonna do the right thing. He's gonna say the right thing. He leads that team. We talking about a guy that for 4 years straight was winning 12 games. Now they couldn't get to the championship game, but there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league that's not winning 12 games a year. And that's not all on Dallas defense, because they were only rated the #1 defense once in that 4 years. But their offense was always rated high. So I'm just saying, don't let your dislike and disdain for the organization itself or for the owner or whatever to say that Dak Prescott not a good quarterback. Look at the stats. Since Dak Prescott has been drafted, he has outperformed every single year. Every single year. Outside of the years when he got hurt, look at his stats. They've been performing every single year. So BWatts, man, thank you for the opportunity, man, and for the trust and for the mentorship, for allowing me to hold the platform and hold the mantle for the night. But sir, I yield to you. And again, I appreciate it.
All right. I want to thank everybody who rocked with us tonight. I want to appreciate J.R. Boxing for his outstanding job of hosting Sports Talk with BWatts on this Thursday night. Appreciate him. Real soldier, real brother. If y'all don't mind, put it down in the chat. Let JR know how much you appreciate him for holding this spot down tonight. I want to welcome back Greg Said. I hope he had a good time away from talking about Colorado. People can get burned out because it's a long season in the off season, and when things don't come out, you just have to make up something and keep talking about the same old at times. But good to have Greg back. Glad he came back safe with his family. And hey, we appreciate y'all. Once again, y'all continue to show up for Sports Talk with BWatts and you support me. Oh yeah, I want to thank all of you for your cash apps tonight and your super chats also. I love to see you. Appreciate you. Everything that you did for Sports Talk with BWatts. And looking forward to continue to do what I do. That's to bring you a show every day but Friday night. All right? We'll go around and we'll let Greg say what he want to say. And we out of here after JR get his final take.
Again, like I said, BWatts, man, I appreciate the opportunity, the mentorship provided, and the trust, because it's all built on trust. It's all built on trust. So I appreciate it. And Greg, welcome back, man. Welcome back, Greg. Y'all fired up. You and BWatts was fired up tonight, but hey, welcome back, man. Hey, happy you made it back safe and the travel.
I cooked JR last night. I cooked Steve on
Tuesday. Come on, man.
Cooked Steve on Tuesday. I cooked you last night, and I cooked Greg tonight. Yeah, what's up? Oh yeah, Coach Dre, you up, son?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Coach Dre, Uncle Steve, Miss Selma Johnson. Again, happy birthday to you, because when I celebrate my birthday, I celebrate for the whole month. And my birthday, April 28th. So I've been celebrating since, the 2nd, because I don't celebrate on my daughter's birthday. She an April Fool's baby. So I usually celebrate the whole month for my birthday. So I still got days ahead of me. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. R Jizzle, I Love CC, Lil Bucket, TMFB, everybody that's been holding us down, man. Mrs. Salter, thank you for gracing us with your presence in the show. Miss Phyllis Smith, everybody. Rev, probably at Bible study, but Rev, appreciate you too, man. And again, I'll be back doing this thing Tuesday and then next Thursday as well, Lord willing.
Well, I don't know what BWatts talking about cooking, but because he didn't want me to talk about my Draylon Miller,
Man, we don't talk about that, bro. We agree with you. We can't. I said that yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I was on the boat yesterday. And speaking of the boat, I still feel like I'm on the boat. I mean, boy, this is weird. Boy, I feel like I forget I'm not on the boat, boy. I'm just rocking. I'm like, boy, I don't know what's going on. Last night the boat was rocking, so I'm still adjusting. But hey, look, y'all can go to Greg. Greg said it. Y'all can get all the documented conversations about what we got. I'm gonna do a little more about, especially get more to the nitty-gritty about some of these nuances with these players, because I feel like it's time, as we get closer to the season. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Greg said it, and we're gonna get this thing back going for the rest of this spring here.
All right. Once again, I want to say special thanks to everybody once again for tuning in to Sports Talk with BWatts and Greg said it. And be back Sunday with Coach Dre, and Monday. Got a special guest Monday. That's Big Tiger and DJ Promo Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss that show. Appreciate the guys for always supporting me, rocking with me over here. I saw the Big Tiger. I saw the video that you posted up yesterday. You're still doing a good job over there. Continue to do what you do over there, my brother, and we will continue to support you. Once again, family, thank y'all for everything that you do. Once again, thank JR for doing what he do. He good at it, and we appreciate it. Fellas, y'all have a good night and a good tomorrow. See y'all next Thursday.